Bring, bring. Bring, bring. That's the school bell, probably, as far as you know. Hello, everyone. Boo! Wah! Oh, welcome to class. Welcome to class. I did so much typing, like right before I started stream. If you guys know, you know. If you know what what posts I'm talking about, I did so much typing. But I also found out one of my favorite artists released a new song. I found out via Spotify. But hello everyone, hello. How you guys doing? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. It's the end of the week. That's crazy. That's crazy business. You're a champion. Thank you, Cielo. Also, hello. Hello. Let's say our hellos, shall we? Let's say our hellos. I saw that there were some Babine Cubs that were sneaking around in the hallway before class started. I just love sulfuric acid. If you didn't hear the voice bite, it's because it only activates in the classroom. So let's say our hellos, we'll go to the classroom, I'll make the soundbite play again, and then we'll have a gay old time. Gojikins, I saw your crimes. You were doing crimes before. You were trying to pull the fire alarm, weren't you? I saw it. I seen it. And Matthew too. Well, no, Matthew is like the TA, right? He's like the teacher's assistant. So it's okay that he's in the hallway along with Mr. Pancakes. But Gojikins! And Saribot, our rock. And Matthew's first. Let's see. Hoisted by your own petard. It's true. It's true. You guys are getting your stickers. You got your sticker. It's her the bear in mind. It's true. Hello, Cielo. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I saw this exchange too. The hell Babine Cubs. Hello, even. And then Gojikins' response. Too late. We've been hewed in twain. It just keeps happening. Is that how you pronounce? How do you pronounce that word actually? Hewed? Hood? Hootie and the Blowfish? Folk, hello. You got your sticker. Let's see. Thursday is my favorite day of the week. Oh, especially you know, during the smarch weather, right? During the Bearsember weather. Now I need to play it again. Golden Gate time, indeed. There is no proof of my multiple crimes. Hewed in twain. Hewed. Alright, let's get to class. I didn't forget my tracking this time. I even figured out what was the problem last time. We got a new Wi-Fi thing, because our Wi-Fi was on the fritz. It was actually good that I wasn't streaming. Actually, that's why I wasn't able to stream last week. Our Wi-Fi was just not working properly. But hello everyone, hello, it's me, Babinka Bear! Your local sun bear, art history teacher, and educational streamer. And do you guys want to know what I love? Let me just get it ready. I just love sulfuric acid. There you go. I didn't forget, Gojikins. You redeemed it, and I redumped it. Yeah, I was just going on Spotify to look for something to play, and do you guys know who Mothy is? Master of the Heavenly Yard. He makes Vocaloid music. He's a Vocaloid like producer guy. Came out with a new song. I was just listening to it. It was pretty banger. If you don't know who he is, wait, does he not have his own page? Wait, then what am I listening to? There we go, Mothy, Master of the Heavenly Yard. He did Servant of Evil. Like, if you know your Vocaloid classics, your classical music, so to speak, Servant of Evil. What else? I listened to like his whole repertoire. The 7 Deadly Sins, you know, series. There's a lot though. Like there's stuff that I'm not even caught up on. But that was a classic, Servant of Evil. She remembered. She tracking so schmoove, it's true. But we won't listen to Mothy. No, actually we can listen to Mothy. Let me just pick a good album. Evil's Theater. This one. I feel like if you if you listen to the first part, you might know it. It's this song. If you guys know your Vocaloid classics and you remember this one, imagine the Battle Twins doing this. He doesn't have his own page. What am I listening to? The computer is off and headphones unplugged. I'm not even streaming. There's no chat. You guys are just a figment of my imagination. Computer is off, headphones unplugged. She is staring straight into the camera. And just yapping. Beans is right next. Actually, Beans is like in another room. He got really full, so he's resting on his belly. He like hears me. He hears me yapping, and it's like, ah yes, 6:30. It's her time for the vivid hallucinations. I remember this and all the other versions. Oh my gosh. Chat is pink as tulpa. The camera is a disposable cam duct taped to a broomstick. To like specifically those like Filipino style broomsticks. Selfie stick! You guys are... Wait, how do you use that, like, the Gen Z lingo? When they say, like, you guys are glazing me, am I using that properly? Wait, let me look it up. What does it mean to, like, glaze someone? Showering them with excessive, often insincere praise or flattery to the point of being cringe? Okay, you guys are not glazing me. You guys are clocking me? Is that the proper terminology? I tried to use that in a sentence with my coworker the other day. I tried to say that, like, wow, how did they clock me at- wow, what was the context? Well, I forgot what the context was, but I remember, like, talking to my coworker and being like, yeah, I don't know how they clocked me as a bear, but they did. To hit them hard, often in the face or head. They did clock me! Or recognize, or to notice and recognize something about them, particularly a detail they might be trying to conceal or a specific truth. I feel like it was when I was talking to my coworker about Digimon TCG stuff, because I have no fear with talking to my coworkers about being nerdy, because they're all nerdy in their own ways, because they are all, like, artists and stuff. So, like, it's not gonna be cringe if I'm like, oh yeah, I play Digimon TCG and I'm obsessed with VTubers. They're like, oh cool, so my improv club. Like, and then, like, this last weekend for D&D, I was blah blah blah. It's like everyone is some kind of nerd in their own way. So I'm okay with that, but I think I said something like, I don't know how people clock me as, like, a TCG player. I only play one TCG. It's Sojo over. She is in fact cooked. I am cooked. I need a redeem where, like, you guys, like, cook me. Wait, I already have one, now that I think about it. But the thing is, you guys also get cooked. Oh, I'm so big. There you go. There we go. Now we're all cooking. Now we're all cooking. Detention. The most interesting thing about my coworkers is one of them told us recently that her dad used to eat Vicks Vaporub, like ingest it, like put it in their mouth and ingest it. That's like, what? How? It's, wait. It reminds me of those, like, TLC documentaries back in the, or was it TLC? It was like something back in the day where it was like, oh, My Strange Obsession, and it was like a person who ate styrofoam, and like, I think in this documentary, the doctor was like, yeah, nothing bad is happening to her. She could keep eating it. And I'm like, what do you mean nothing's bad happening to her? Literally one of my other coworkers told her that too. Yeah, is the dad like, scoop it up with the speakers and eat it? Did they just really like menthol? Yeah, like, do they really like... What's it called? Like the mint chocolate chip ice cream, and they're like, you know what else has this flavor but stronger? Vicks Vaporub. Like, isn't that unhealthy? Like, wouldn't they like vomit it or like have to call poison control? The most mentholated jelly on their toast. I don't know, I was too frightened to inquire further. I mean, for a fun fact, for an interesting fact, that is a very interesting fact. Meanwhile, I'm just like, oh yeah, I have friends that do D&D and improv clubs. You know what? I think I remember the context in which someone, like, clocked me. Not hit me, but they, like, figured something out about me. Another one of my coworkers, she's a bit older. I think she's, like, in her 50s or 60s. She's someone who, like, if you talk to them after about an hour, you can kind of figure out their whole vibe is, like, kind of spiritual, but on, like, the witchy pagan side of things. Kind of like a believer in, like, energies and, like, you know, they go off vibes and stuff like that. And she clocked me as a fellow tarot enjoyer. And we actually had a chat at my cubicle. The funny thing is, when I'm at the office, I try to stick to myself. I don't, like, not because I hate anyone, but just because I, like, you know, eyes on the prize. Face has to go directly to computer. Because I feel like I'm just too shy and anxious to like have a normal conversation. But people come to me all the time and they ask me things and they tell me things. And this one coworker is like, "Oh yeah, I heard from the Vine. I heard through the Vine. What's the lingo? Like, I heard from our coworkers that you like tarot cards." So she actually like said, "Oh, let's do like a tarot sesh soon." And I said, "Okay, yeah, let's do it." And then I have another coworker in the cubicle right next to me who said that she's interested. And then all three of us are like, "Yeah, let's do a tarot sesh." Lo and behold, so you know, there's like a verbal agreement, right? Like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have like a tarot sesh." Lo and behold, I look at my like Google Calendar, because our office uses like Google Calendar to like schedule our meetings and stuff. My other coworker who's like into witchy stuff, she literally scheduled us for tarot. Like she put it on the Google Calendar. I kind of just thought it was like, "Oh, I'll just bring my cards, you'll bring your cards, and we'll just like casually do it." No, it's literally in the calendar. It's like from 10 to 11, we are gonna do tarot. I think she even booked a conference room. It's like, no, this is actually gonna happen. Beck School, hello. We're talking about the co-worker ordained tarot session that I'm gonna have next Tuesday. Surprise team building exercise, exactly. The context, "Hey, how's it going?" is clocked. Hey guys, you know what? That's probably why I like sticking to myself in the office. That's why I try to keep my head directly in front of my laptop screen, because I'm just gonna keep getting clocked. I'm just gonna keep getting clocked by my coworkers. "Let's do a tarot session." They show up with cards and you show up with boy. What happened to the tarot session? What? That's what I'm asking. What happened to the tarot session? That's what I want to know. I was led to believe that there would be tarot here. That's what I wanted to ask. But yeah, how's everyone doing? We're gonna be doing some art appreciation today. It's been a minute. I think the last time I did it was like in July. And here we are at the end of August. It's not quite September, but September is coming. September is only a couple days away. Can you believe it? That means it's officially like the end of summer for me. I have to like, you know, pause on the ground, beans on the ground, you know. "Oh, thank you, Saribot. You took out to the sinner." To detention with that one. But yeah, so, you know, I gotta do pause on the ground. The schools are gonna be starting, or the schools have already started up soon. Yeah, get sniped, bot. The schools are gonna be back in session, and that means that I'm gonna be a little bit busier for the fall, but such is life. End of month, I can't believe my bank account sure does. I can't believe it, but my bank account sure does. I feel that. I feel that, man. So yeah, usually for me, for my office, summer is the first week after Memorial Day, and then it ends the first week before, or sorry, it ends at Labor Day. Once Labor Day comes, it's officially fall. I know technically in the calendar, fall doesn't start until what, like September? Wait, when does it? Is it September 15th? When is the vernal equinox? Let me see. That's not autumnal equinox. Autumnal. September 22nd of this year is the official beginning of fall. Keep it in mind. But yeah, so I might be a little bit busier, and I know I didn't stream that much during the summer just because I had a pretty wonky schedule. I had like things to do every weekend. But I'll try to stream as much as I can. And then also my streaming anniversary is, oh my gosh, wait, when's my when's my streaming anniversary? Milky just had her 2-year anniversary, and I started like shortly after her. I'm pretty sure it's September 9th. September, yeah, oh my god. Wait, that's only, that's only 2 weeks away. I don't have anything planned, you guys. I don't have anything planned. Surprise pizza party? Who wants a pizza party? Wait, where are my assets? Oh, look guys. Surprise pizza party. That's just a preview. That's just a preview. See, I'm glad I remembered now and not like on September 8th. Where it's like, oh, my 2-year streaming anniversary is tomorrow! Oh no, I gotta order so much pizza. She's throwing off her big celebration bash that she has been planning for months. You can't fool us. Uh-oh. That's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what they... Call off the plans, Mr. Pancakes. They caught the scent. Go call the balloon guy and tell him... Mr. Pancakes is just sitting there, like eyes, like, looking in different directions. He doesn't even know what a balloon is. Booster box opening hand cam to celebrate? Ooh. I kind of like how that sounds. Any excuse for me to open up some booster packs. But which booster should I? Because there is going to be one coming up late September. When September ends. Call off the plan, Mr. Pancakes. He slowly just slides behind the tree. I mean, why would you think that? He would never. He would, especially when I find where his asset is on... Where is his asset? It's probably in the... I see him. No, I don't. He wouldn't slide off. You guys want to know why he wouldn't slide off? Because I can't find his asset. And, oh no! I forgot I didn't program him to... Okay, give me a second, Show, slide. He's going to the left. Slide to the right. Take it back now, y'all. There we go. That's too fast, though. That's too fast. There we go. What a guy. But yeah, so my anniversary stream is in 2 weeks. Oopsie daisy. I'll plan something for it. It might even be a pizza party. Yeah, so today's class is art appreciation. We're back to form. We're back to our academic form. We've just been gaming and chatting and Digimoning, you know, these past few classes. We gotta actually learn things, right? This is a class. We have to actually learn. What are you guys learning from Digimon, huh? Other than mythology and how the digital world works and how the card game works and all that stuff. So, we actually have quite a backlog of things to go through today. Because you guys have just been really good at recommending things for me to look at. So, some things I might spend a bit of time on. And then this picture that we have on the screen right now, Aura was the one who recommended it. I actually don't know who the artist is. Exactly, we're learning the heart of the cards. That's the important lesson, right? So this is actually going to be our warm-up. Which, by the way, I haven't warmed up my voice. Uh-oh. But yeah, first we're going to be looking at this cool collage of different robots from different media. I might need your guys' help in identifying some of them, because some of them might be after my time, some of them might even be before, and some of them might be during my time, but I just didn't check out the media that it's from. So, there's that. Some of the other things that we're going to be looking at, I'm not going to spend so much time on, just because there's a lot. I think Matthew recommended this one, by Binky and Crumb. It's a cat on their pewter, and it's medieval style. And then this one is a piece of fan art of Josuiji Shinri of Hollow Stars English by Netty. But it's based off The Birth of Venus by, Michelangelo? Da Vinci? I actually forget with, I honest to goodness, like, forget when it comes to, like, the classic artists. You yerk! Yeah, that I forgot to do that. I need, maybe I do need to do that. Some dead guy, exactly. The next one, I'm gonna be very, like, I'm a little hesitant to show it until the artist mayhaps shows up. It's art by, I think, beeplebees. They posted it in the Discord, but they did put a warning for gore. So it does have a bit of gore. They did send a version. They also sent a version that is censored, but there's still a lot of red, and there's still like the implication is still there. So I want to see if beeplebees will show up, just so that I can also ask them questions about it, because like technique wise it looks very cool. Oh my god, this is the song. But it technically, what like in terms of like the painting and everything, it looks really cool. I really like it, but because of the gore in it, I want to hold off on showing it on screen until they show up. Even though I'm gonna be putting the censored version too. But yeah, there's that, and then there's 3 artists that were recommended to me. Oh no, it's light mode. Is there any way to do dark mode? Tools? There are no dark. I thought. Does this have dark mode? Yeah, it does. There you go. Henri Matisse, he's one of the classics. A. Pullen recommended, or he kept on mentioning like looking at this guy. He's one of those like famous artists who, like, if you majored in art history, or if you're just like a casual enjoyer of like modern art, probably have seen some of his works before. Especially this one. This one's like one of the more well-known ones. It's too late, we're blind now. Oh no. It's by John Art. The text is small, but the collage by Richard Sargent? Which one is that? What is it? Collage by Richard Sargent. Ooh. I'm looking at it on another screen, which is why it's not showing up on the one on the projector screen right now. Mayhaps. And then another artist that was also recommended by A. Pullen. I wonder if I should hold off until I actually see A. Pullen in chat. Because he's the one that, like, he's always so, like, avid on like, certain artists to check out. But this one's cool. So I guess some things will depend on, like, who shows up. But one person I definitely want to check out is Camila Salinas. You might have seen some of her art on Twitter, but she's just a really good oil painter. She's contemporary, so she's like actively making art like right now, maybe even right this second. But this is oil painting. This isn't a photo. She like painted this. I wonder if I can find the very first art piece of hers. I think I don't know if she's still in school, but I recall it's like something that she did for like a final. But she does this like hyper realistic oil paintings, and usually it's herself. Like the subject matter is herself. I think it's this one. I think this one might be the. Yeah, this is an oil painting. So she's 18. I wanted this to be a representation of myself at 18. I explain more in my YouTube video, but I want this to be something I can recreate in the future and see how my life has changed. Wait, so she painted this in 2023? Was she 18 at the time? Like is she... Maybe she's in art college? I actually don't know too much about her, but I've just seen her works, and she's, like, really, really impressive. Like, this takes a lot of, like, practice and skill. But yeah, so I saw a comment the other day being like, ever since you went to art school, you started losing your spark or something along those lines. And at first I thought they were being dramatic, but damn girl, you look miserable. Oh no. But yeah, that is the cue for today. In fact, I think I'm going to put stuff in a... Hold on. I'm gonna put some of these tabs into a separate tab group. Do you guys use... for those of you that use Google Chrome, do you guys use tab groups? Because they help with my organization. So the ones that were recommended by A. Pullen and the one that was painted by beeplebees, I'm going to put those in a separate group until they show up. And if they don't show up, that's fine. We'll save it for another time. But for now, let's do some warm up. Let's stretch out those eye muscles. Stretch. Are you guys stretching? Look at me, I'm stretching. Can you imagine if that is... Are there eye workouts, you think? I know there's like a style of dance in in South Asia. I don't know if it's India or Pakistan or another place, but like there's a style of dance where like a lot of it is like eye movements. And I actually don't know because, you know, I can't tell unless I'm looking at the screen if the tracking is good enough to track my like eye movements. So if I like go side to side, does it does it track that? Can you guys see my eyes going like, oh, 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 oh? Tracking's good enough? Oh man. I refuse to have enough tabs to require a grouping. You're just like me, for real, for real. I don't like having too many tabs open. And when I do have to have tabs open, like a lot of them open, I use groups. I can't, I know there's folks that are like, oh, I have like 100, not even an exaggeration, like 100 tabs open all the time and don't turn off my computer. And they're all unorganized and I don't want to close them because then I'll lose the information. Also, did I say hello to Fugubi? I saw that you posted an emote out there. Hello, Fugubi. And then hello, Mega Bronson. Hello, hello. Mega Bronson was streaming yesterday, y'all. He was streaming Metal Gear Solid Delta. It was so good. It was so good. But yeah, we're doing some art appreciation right now. And I was talking about eye movements. But yeah, what was I saying? Stretch those eye muscles. Stretch them! You do Lemon Lion, right? You gotta like squeeze everything, make your face real small, squeeze your eyes, squeeze even your lips. You only making like small movements, and then Lion. I like that stretch. It stretches your face muscles. Lemon, 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 lemon. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lion. Okay, so for our warm-up, for our art appreciation, it's a Where's Waldo situation, but it's a Where's Wally. So I unfortunately wasn't able to ask Aura who the artist for this is. Actually, I think you can see it here in the corner. It can't zoom in, we can't zoom in too much. It looks like Richard's... Oh, it is Richard Sargent, yeah. Oh, is that what you were saying, Matthew? The text is small, but collage by Richard Sargent. Ah, that's what you were saying. I thought you were asking me to look up like another collage. So, is this by Richard Sargent? Or like a different Richard Sargent? Did you talk about the scientific most efficient Where's Waldo search route? I did not. Is that an actual thing? Is there like an actual like... That sounds like it would be a thing where it's like you have to start in the corners and then you like let your eye, you know, travel, or you do this. I actually do not know. I actually do not know. By the way, even if we find Wally right away, I kind of want to just see like all the robots that we can recognize from this collage. So, well, let's see. Maybe we won't go through each and every row, but if I see one, I'll point it out. I do wonder if there's either Pokemon or Digimon robots on here, but isn't this from is this Nausicaa? This is from like a Ghibli film, right? This one looks like the Crushinator. No, not the Crushinator. This one looks familiar, but I don't know. This one is from that kid show, right? The time traveling one that looks, I don't know if it's actually by Genndy Tarkovsky, but the style is very Genndy Tarkovsky. There he is. Top left one is, oh, Castle in the Sky. Okay, yeah. I'm trying to think of, like, did I ever watch that Ghibli film? Because I watched Princess Mononoke, the like, super popular ones, right? Kiki's Delivery Service, Spirited Away is my favorite Ghibli film. Ooh! I don't know if I've ever actually watched it, or the one with, like, the, why am I blanking on it? The one with like the old lady and then the guy with like the feathers and stuff. Oh my gosh, yes, Pexco Time Patrol. Yes, that's the name of the one this guy's from, right? There's also like a buff guy. There's a kid. It's kind of it's easy for my mind to confuse it with the time traveling kid with the dog. This one, I don't actually recognize where it's from, but there was not too long ago, there was oh sorry, I'm trying to like shove a straw through a plastic cup and it made a sound. Yeah, Time Patrol, looks like there's gonna be some GoBot rep too. What is a GoBot? So this one, I don't know what it's actually from, but there was a computer parts, computer like hardware store called Fry's here in Los Pincos. And each of them had a different theme. I've talked about this before, but there were some that had like a Maya theme. There were some that had like a drive-in theater theme. And one of them had an aliens theme. It was like different aliens from different IPs, and there was a huge statue of this guy with like, I guess like a woman, like a human woman, like in his arms, you know, like Pieta style, like he's carrying her, like she's being abducted or something. So I don't actually know what he's from, but I recognize him because of that. Fries. I know it's gone forever. It actually shut down like a while back, and I'm so sad because I had so many fond memories of that place. Because like even if like back then I wasn't super into like computer hardware or anything like that, but my dad would take me with them because he's super into computer hardware. He would take me with him, and even if you're not into that stuff, the decoration of the store was, you know what? Let me see if I can. Fries. Wait, Fry's is a food and drug store now? What the frick? Fry's Electronics. So yeah, let me just show you. There's some examples here. See, some of them are like, you know, gear themed. This one is like temple themed. This one, okay. This one was in a place called Bearbank. I know what it says. It was a place called Bearbank, and it was alien themed. Let's see if we can find. Hold on. Burbank. Some pictures from like the inside. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Yeah, this brings up so many memories. Yeah, there was like a huge octopus. There was a huge octopus. So this is what the front looks like. It looks like, you know, a spaceship crashed into it. And then like in one side of the store, there was like a huge octopus. On another side, there's like a giant ant. This was the customer service like kiosk, by the way. They had like little aliens on top. There's like an army truck. This is the one that I'm talking about. This is the one that I'm talking about. Stores used to be fun. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's so whimsical. It's so decorated that like I said, even as a kid, I liked going to Fry's with my dad because not only did I usually get a video game out of it, like a humongous entertainment game out of it, but like I get to see all these sights, you know? But yeah, that's where I recognize this robot from. Is there anything else? I think this also had a there was a drive-through. It was either, yeah, they had a restaurant that had a drive-through. Or okay, it's modeled after a drive-through. You don't actually drive through because as you can see, it's like in the middle of the store. Let's see if I can take a look. Yeah, so like you see all like the boxes and stuff. This was a restaurant. You could actually like order food and like sit at the cars. And I remember like eating at this restaurant once with my dad. Capitalism be like, no, fun is expensive. It's true. It makes me sad because yeah, there was just so much whimsy and like just going to the computer store, right? Fun requires too much fiberglass. Exactly. No, bring me back the whimsy. Bring me back the themed stores, the themed electronics stores. It doesn't even have to be electronics, just the themed anything. I wish to live in whimsy. But yeah, so that's why I recognize that guy. Isn't this from... This is the Jetsons? It's very Hanna-Barbera, right? I kind of recognize him. He looks familiar too, but I can't quite pinpoint from where. This is from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Like 100%. Seeing a before and after of a McDonald's turning into a McCafe. Yeah. Did you guys see the posts about that? Like why that phenomenon has been happening, of why like we went from like the super iconic Pizza Hut buildings and the like McDonald's with the play places to just squares? There was a guy who was talking about it, and it was a 100% like capitalism and like adhering to the wants of the investors, because McDonald's and Pizza Hut and companies like that, they own the land. They own the land that the building is on, and they intend to, like, once that business has gone out of business, to sell the land. And it's easier to sell the land into, like, to another business if it's just a plain old square rather than a place that is Pizza Hut shaped or like place shaped, you know? I always just assume money. Yeah, exactly. It's that. The little orange floating thin purple on top is from Cubics. Oh, this one. Yeah, I kind of remember that one. He's like the little mascot, right? He's like the little Pikachu of Cubics. The Cracker Barrel controversy, exactly. The buildings are made generic to increase the real estate value. Yeah, you actually said it like perfectly in in so little words, because like I was trying to summarize it, but literally you summarize it so well in one sentence. I love seeing the old Pizza Huts and IHOP shaped buildings that are repurposed, and you're just like, this looks like an IHOP. Yeah, that's the thing they wanted to, the investors and such, they wanted to prevent that. They wanted it to be able to sell to like other businesses, so it's not like, oh, this is a, can't even say Radio Shack anymore. It's funny because my mom likes to go to a thrift store that looks like an old like Radio Shack or Circuit City, one of those. I don't know if it is I don't know if it is more from the brown bot. On the left I saw Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd. Beeplebees, hello. We were talking about you earlier because we wanted to potentially review the art that you had posted in the art appreciation channel. With your permission, of course. But hello. Right now we're just looking at a collage of robots and seeing what we could find. I know this is from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and then you said, Gojikins said, the brown bot on the left. This one? Yeah, I don't know too much about Judge Dredd, so I will trust you on that. This one also looks familiar. Is this something from... It's not Space Odyssey, right? Not 2001? It looks so familiar. Like, not necessarily a film that it looks like something from the 60s that was probably parodied in either The Simpsons or Family Guy, right? The ABC bot? Spaceballs! Oh my gosh. I did see it. She's the parody for R2D2, right? No, C3... Wait. I'm mixing up my robots. R2D2 is the short one. C3PO is the gold one. Right? Yeah, C3PO. Yeah. Spaceballs is so funny. I miss Spaceballs. Comb the desert! And then let me scroll up. The ABC bot. Yeah, this one, right? Is this the ABC bot? Of course I wouldn't have put it in there if I didn't want it to be looked at. Yeah, I wanted to wait to see if you would if you were here. I didn't want to just like review it and be like, oh sorry Beeplebees, we already looked at it. Too bad, so sad. So yeah, we'll look at it today. Funny thing is I just saw a clip from Short about it too. A lovely little Touchcoma. Oh, is there a Touchcoma? Yes, there is! There is a Touchcoma from Ghost in the Shell. This one, the blue one. Balls! There was a church that took over an old Circuit City and they didn't even change much about it. The same color scheme, just a Korean church now. We ain't found it. Yeah, we ain't found ish. There was another joke from Spaceballs. What was it? Like, instead of I am your father, it's like I am your second cousin's neighbor's wife. This looks like it's from Transformers Robots in Disguise. This is from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. There's a Touchcoma. This also looks like it's from like a piece of children's media that I like myself didn't consume, but I might have had students or something that did consume it. We have some Cybermen from Doctor Who. Oh my gosh, how could I forget this guy? Roger. If you guys ever watch Clone Wars, Star Wars Clone Wars, they're so funny. Like, these robots are so funny. The Roger. There's Wally. Oh, He's right there, yeah. You're right. Oh my gosh, is that Tom? Is that Toonami Tom? That's crazy. Roger. The Cybermen are so funny for no reason. I think it's the face of this one, because he looks like he's in distress. He looks distressed. He's like, oh. Oh god, it's Calculon. It's Calculon. I appreciate that, thank you. Yeah, of course. What does that make us? Nothing! Yeah, that's right. Clone Wars made me love the battle droids. Yeah, oh my gosh, the battle droids are so funny. Can I find the video where, it's one that me and Beans quote all the time where the battle droids are like, oh my gosh! Battle droids. Oh my god. Is it this one? Do you guys want to watch some Star Wars clips with me? Some Clone Wars clips? Wait, more! I want more of the battle droids. Oh my god! They're so dumb. If you know nothing about, like, if you know nothing about Star Wars and the droids, these ones are just so funny. Hanel, hello. We're not gonna watch the whole thing. Okay. Blast him! Not to watch this. There were some like bangers in here. There were some like really good bangers. But I love the Roger robots. Roger. What did I join into? We're looking at a collage of different robots across different media. And I saw the Roger battle droid. They're just so funny. They're so funny. Let's see. Symbiotic Titan. Disney frothing at the mouth. They're gonna kill me. They're gonna... I can just cut that out of the VOD. I'll cut it out of the VOD. Please, Disney, please don't do it. I'm just a bear. I'm just a bear that just teaches art history. I don't want no trouble. I like that the in-universe reason for them being so funny, full of personality, is that they were made by the lowest bidder and need near constant memory wipes that they don't get. I love... Well, there's so much to love about Clone Wars, right? Because it's such a good bridge between the two... what is it? The prequel trilogy? Between, like, movies 2 and 3. It's such a good bridge because it goes from, like... Without spoiling too much, like, there's one character who, like, goes through such a strange, like, character shift, but Clone Wars, in my opinion at least, like, helps to, like, explain that character shift. So yeah, I recommend it. It's super well written too. I like it. So let's put the music back on. Disney legal ninja assassins coming. No, please save me. Don't take me. The Babinkums, they take them. They're delicious. I agree. Rex did have quite the arc. Yes. Let's see. Who else? I thought this was Datamon from Digimon, but no, it just looks like him. We saw Calculon. Is Bender somewhere here from Futurama? Oh my gosh! Wait, what's his name? Servbot? Helperbot? From Venture Brothers? He's also super funny. He does not talk at all, but he's like one of the funniest characters. I don't recognize too much of this. Is this supposed to be Bill and Ted? It kind of looks like Bill and Ted's Awesome Adventure, but they're robots. C-3PO? She's throwing us under the bus! For the love of God, do not deploy helicopter blades! Dude, oh my gosh, I love Venture Brothers so much. Oh, there's Bender! And, Eve? Fun fact, I actually never finished Wall-E. I never watched it in full. We actually watched it in my AP psychology class in high school, but we never finished it because my teacher just had days where he just did not feel like teaching, and he would just put on a movie under the guise of it being psychological, and he put on Wall-E, but we never finished it. So this one also looks like it's from like a kid's game. But once again, I think it's something that like, I think I was trying to look for educational like resources. Wait, is he or is he from a movie? Zeta above that. Oh, Crow T Robot? Bro was hungover. Most likely. I would not be too shocked. I think these two, this one and this one, look like they're from some kind of like educational show. I'm actually starting to think this was from a movie. Was it starring Will Smith? Was it a Pixar film? Or DreamWorks even? He looks so familiar. This one's from Clone High. This guy's from Clone High. It's a movie called Robots. You're right. Let me... Robots movie. Yes! Was this... 20th Century Studios? Wow. As in the same studio that did Anastasia? Like this one, right? Robin Williams. Oh! Yeah! Robin Williams. Ewan McGregor, Mel Brooks. Amanda Bynes, wow. It's all coming back to me now. Wesley! DreamWorks, if I recall. That just reminded me of one of my old schools had a teacher who drank in class. The red bot was Robin. Oh, the red bot was Robin. Let me see. You know what's funny? It's like, ah, yeah, that looks like Robin Williams. And then you see this one, and you tell me that the red one is Robin Williams. I'm like, yeah, that also kind of looks like Robin Williams. Good thing they didn't add on Fanny. Which one's on Fanny? Is it this one? I just didn't grow up watching as many movies as I thought I did. Oh, Haro! This guy's also familiar. Oh, the Buzz Lightyear TV show, right? There was like a Buzz Lightyear TV show back in the day. And then the robot from iRobot. Robin Williams, a man of many faces. And the genie, too. The Tin Man, Eve, Dalek. Exterminate! Is this the one from Portal? Oh, and then this guy had his own show, right? What was his name? It wasn't... Oh, do you think this one has the Jenny robot thingy? Oh, here. I just mentioned her. She's right here. Was that her name? Jenny? The teenage robot? And then he also had a show. It was like My Life as a Teenage Robot. Yes, Cielo said, yeah, whatever happened to Robot Jones, yes. Yeah, I think this is My Life as a Teenage Robot. This is whatever happened to Robot Jones, yeah. The Daleks, yes. Exterminate. The Doctor is back. Yeah, I vaguely remember that show. Yeah, because like these two were, I feel like they were around the same time, right? But maybe on different networks. I feel like this was Nickelodeon and this was Cartoon Network. Or maybe they were both Nickelodeon. I actually don't remember. And then this is from the Jetsons. This was like their maid. Let's see. This one, isn't this from, oh my, why am I blanking on it? Do Robots Dream of Electric Sheep? But then it was made into a movie? Or not Spaceballs, right? This was like he was from like something that wasn't like 100% humorous, but it had humor in it, right? Hitchhiker's Guide. Yeah. Hitchhiker's Guide. Oh, they were both Cartoon Network. I think you're right. Yeah, I think they are both Cartoon Network. This one had like a little bit of like Gendy Tarkovsky's like style, but I think a little bit different. It's funny, I never realized how much a lot of like 90s and early 2000s cartoons were very much influenced by like 60s, 70s style. In the same way that like nowadays we're seeing a lot of resurgence of like 90s, 2000s, Y2K, you know, aesthetics and fashion and stuff. But it just never hit me back then. Like a lot of Gendy Tarkovsky stuff is very like 60s, 70s in its style. The android bot. Nothing sparks joy in me like to watch the Daleks and the Cybermen fight. Exterminate. There's something freaky about the Cybermen though. Like, it's I think the whole theme of like being transformed into something against your will has always freaked me out as a kid, and I can even tell you when it started. Have any of you seen? There was like an old Superman movie, like old Superman movie. There's a scene that I saw as a kid that like I swear to God traumatized me as a kid. It's a scene where like it's like near the climax of the movie. There's like an evil professor chick, but then their like base or something is collapsing and their supercomputer I think is taking over. And like everyone's trying to escape this like base that's falling apart, but the evil scientist chick, she's also trying to escape. But then there's like the computer I think like pulls her into like its mainframe and like forcibly turns her into a robot. And I remember seeing that as a kid and just like being freaked out. Like it like gave me nightmares as a cub. It was just like, oh god. Like, and that has become like a point of like major discomfort for me whenever I see it in like an IP in a series. And I think that happens quite a bit in like any Doctor Who episode with Cybermen, right? And I think the Daleks too. I think the Daleks also had something like that. There was the episode with the actress that had Clara, right? Like it wasn't the same or was it the same character actually? Like, it's the one where she like the episode opens with like a character who's like trying to help the doctor get rid of the Daleks. And then it's like spoiler alert for that episode that I can't even remember. Now the Daleks were aliens and they want to exterminate. No, but there was one episode. Where I think it was the 12th? It was the 12th Doctor. It was Matt Smith. There was a doctor where he like goes to a place where people have been converted into like not Cybermen, Dalek, like one of them straight up became a Dalek. The others became like Dalek puppets. Like the little antenna would like come out of their foreheads. And it was something like they were infected by like spores. And that's another one that was like kind of freaky. But I do remember the Cybermen like conversion ones, because those ones were like, I want to say the 10th Doctor. Oh, you know what? I meant the 11th. Doctor. Yeah, I remember that episode just because oh, you didn't watch past the 10th Doctor. Ah, I see. It was definitely Matt Smith's tenure. It was the 11th Doctor, because that's when he first meets a character who becomes like recurring later on. Except I don't know if it's that same character. I actually stopped at the 11th. I think once I got to Peter Capaldi, I watched a little bit of his episodes. And I like his characterization as the Doctor, but I think from there it was a little harder for me to watch the episodes. Like, I don't think I had like a streaming service that had like the episodes. Whereas with the 9th, 10th, and 11th Doctors, I think I either torrented. No, what did I watch it on Netflix? I forgot how I watched it. But yeah, the Daleks and the Cybermen, like they both instilled that like fear in me of like the forced transformation. Is scary. It's scary. They used to be on Netflix. I think that's where I watched it. But I forgot why it was that I couldn't watch too much of the Capaldi episodes. Because I liked his characterization. What else? Oh my gosh, it's like the vacuum from Teletubbies. Did he have a name? Was it like the snooty snooter or something like that? The android. Love that guy too. Oh my god, it's Gurr. I see that there's an ad coming up, but let me snooze it just a smidge, just to finish up our robots. It's Gur from Invader Zim. He's like the most lol random. His like puppy disguise. Wait, there's no way that robot is called Snoo Snoo. There's no freaking way. Was he really called Snoo Snoo? Like, as in the term they use in Futurama to imply sex? Like, no way. Like, death by Snoo Snoo. Wait, let me see. A green bot and the bottom is Sergeant Bash from Robot Wars. This one? Oh, that's pretty cool. Snoo Snoo, Mike the TV, K9 another, oh my gosh, yes, K9, where's K9? There he is! Oh my gosh, have you guys, if any of you are like Hoovians, have you heard like all the trouble that like, even just having K9 on set was? Like, he was heavy, he was like hard to control, he was like glitchy in some ways, and like, he was like legit like a menace to have on the set. I remember this because I got a Kickstarter of the Teletubbies as Eldritch Gods. That's awesome. It's because that's how the Teletubbies talk. La la, snoo snoo. You know what? You're right. I think it's like coming back to me. I do remember them being like, snoo snoo, tubby custard. Death by Snoo Snoo. Let's see, who else? Actually not recognizing too much of these. R2D2. Oh, he was in like I'm blanking on, he looks familiar. Was it like the 9 or something like that? Like the movie had like a number in it? Jimmy Neutron, the dog from Jimmy Neutron. The Haro, the Buzz Lightyear robot. A lot of these I'm actually not recognizing as much. A little cat and mouse. Yeah, that might actually be it in terms of like who I recognize, unfortunately. Ratchet and Clank! Yes, it is Ratchet and Clank. Goddard is the Jimmy Neutron dog. Yeah, this one, right? I just like remember the opening of Jimmy Neutron. That's another one that I didn't really watch that much, but my younger siblings did when they were growing up. But yeah, this is just a really cool collage of different robots that Aura had posted. Wally is right here. We found him. So there's that. As you can see, my knowledge of this media is lacking, very much lacking. So when we come back, we're gonna get back into the rest of our art appreciation. That was just a bit of a warm-up. And we might just like go briefly over some of the other ones, but let's put you guys in an ad break right now, and then I need to hold on, where are my windows? I need to turn on the light. It's gotten dark suddenly, so let's put you guys in a 3-minute ad break, and I'll see you guys when we come back. we're back. I was just catching up on my Discord channels. The folks that usually frequent my like Digimon locals, they are out having drunk Digimon card games at another card store that's like a little out of the way for me, so I don't typically go. But I was like, oh man, that sounds like fun. But also I am no longer at the age where I can handle my alcohol, so alas, I stepped out. Or not stepped out, I didn't even participate in the first place, but it's like, oh, that sounds like a fun idea. I mean, do people do like MTG drunk? Like drunk MTG or like drunk Yu-Gi-Oh? Like they have to, right? Let's swap the O and 6 in the parking sign around. 6-minute parking. Quickly! Remember folks, don't drink and draft, or do. I don't know. I was so curious about how it's playing out, but also I'd rather be here with you guys. The part from Iron Giant is on the bottom right. Oh no, I already like exited out of the Pikachu. Drunk Mario Double Dash. Ooh, that's playing with fire. That's playing with fiery alcohol. Let's get back to class, shall we? Let's come back to our art appreciation, because the next piece of art that we're gonna be appreciating is beeplebees. Can't believe she hates the Iron Giant. That's another movie that I never finished to completion. That's another one that I think my my AP Psych teacher just put on and then never finished. Like, I don't know why he kept doing that. He was like, all right, that's enough for one session. Like, I'm hungover for this session, but the next session, I'm ready to teach you guys about the Oedipus complex. But alright, so yes, beeplebees in the chat. They are the person that made this artwork, which is very zoomed in right now, because they did give a warning that it is very gory. There is a gore warning. So before I uncover the whole entire masterpiece, I want to give you guys a warning. There is a little bit of gore. She isn't traumatized by Superman. Thing is, I am traumatized by Superman. But yeah, so this work, it does show a little bit of like implications of like gore, blood, and flesh. He finished the movies without y'all. Probably, man. Probably. Probably that dude was like, okay, like the kiddos watch this. I want to finish it. And then it's like, teacher, when are we gonna watch the end of WALL-E? You're not. I already did for you. It was okay. But yeah, so this really cool work by beeplebees, it has that really cool digital painterly style that I love so much. But just as a warning, there is going to be a little bit of gore, blood and gore, like a huge how do I say this, like gaping like, body parts open. Beeple's art, let's go! Yeah, exactly. I'm actually gonna put up the censored version up here. Beeplebees was so generous to give us a censored and an uncensored version. If you want to see the uncensored version, it is in the Discord, in the channel that says Art Appreciation. Alright, so... But for now... Sorry, I burped. For now, I'm going to go ahead and uncover the full masterpiece in 3, 2, 1... Yahoo! See, it's cool. I like the censorship. Don't get sniped by Twitch. Yeah, I appreciate you for that. So let's see. Bare your insides. Again. So this is the digital painterly style that I love so much, right? My dumbass censor. I like it though. I like it. Because, I don't know, this gives me the same feeling. Like the same kind of like feeling of dread as... Funger, Fear and Hunger, which I myself have never played, but I've seen people play it before. I've seen videos of it. It's this sense of like, you don't necessarily see any organ, or at least in the censored version, you don't see any like organs, but just the use of color implies like, you know, like where in the body this is. You see like the legs here, you see like the arm, but other parts of the body are noticeably missing. And even if this was like a gaping hole, it's stretched out so much that it just gives this like almost otherworldly horror to it, right? Especially with the colors too. If you guys look at the color palette, it's a somewhat limited color palette, but it's used very effectively because you have like your reds, black, and then you also have white, as well as like the skin tone. All of these kind of like work in concert with each other because overall, like we have a lot of black and dark colors to kind of like obscure things in darkness. You have the skin tones to, it kind of reminds me of the use of like light colors in Francisco Goya's Saturn Eating His Child. Right? Or yeah, Saturn Eating His Child, where like you just see Saturn like kind of like his eyes are bulging, but and he's like holding like the corpse of like the child that he's eating, but his knuckles are so white because like it's so white that you could tell that he's like squeezing into that corpse, right? So the use of light colors to contrast with the black also kind of like gives us that like fear of like, oh, it's so like it shines so pale against like all this gore. Like what is that shine? Is it the whites of eyes? Is it the whites of like knuckles? In this case, you have like the whites of like the skin that's being like opened up. But you also have the text that like is meant to be read, right? The bare your insides thing. The uncensored do in fact be solid. Yeah, right? It's really cool. That's sort of, yeah, exactly. It's like a very unsettling vibe because black is really easy to use for like horrific works because black equals like darkness and like obscuring things, making it so that you can't see things. But seeing a super bright white color, a super light color within that darkness can be even more unsettling because it's almost like, what is that white shape? Is it something that's staring back at me? You know, is it something that like is like moving, is squeezing something? You know, Goya's undiscovered masterpiece, Babika eating her cubs. No, I would never. Red and black and white color scheme has me in a death grip. It's so good. That said with the red too. So we talked about the black, we talked about the white. Now with the red, I kind of like that the figure is resting on this like red couch. To kind of like complement the overall color scheme. Because another thing that I noticed is that the black, if you scroll in on the black, it's actually not straight like what is it? 0000 black. It's like a little bit red tinted. You have this couch that's actually a little bit more desaturated. It's a little bit almost like pastel by comparison. It helps build that contrast, right? Because you have something super light, but then you have something that's like super high in contrast. This super vivid red, this super dark black, right? And yeah, I like the repetition of the text, the again and again and again and again. Bare your insides. The initial sketch made me physically ill, and that's how I knew I was on the right track. No, yeah, you did it very effectively. Super effectively. I'm glad you noticed that. A lot of effort with layering textures to get the background that I wanted. Yeah, I love it. For one, I love the use of shading because it looks like... I know this is digital painting, but the layering actually gives it the same feel of traditional paints, of traditional like acrylic and oil paints, especially like the layering here. Because you can see like there's like a little bit of white here, but then it's funny because it almost looks like CG coloring, but it's more so like painterly. Oh yeah, the music is like actually like going very well with this as well. I don't know, the layering is very, very well done here. It adds a lot of depth. But yeah, like the fact that, because if you just drew like a gaping hole in a way that, you know, you could still see like the ribs and stuff, like all of that, it would still be super horrific. But I really like that she went with something that felt a little bit more abstract, but it almost also feels like when, if you accidentally like get a paper cut, or if you accidentally like cut into something, or if you like ever have to handle like any kind of flesh, like if you're having to cut cow or chicken or something like that, that's kind of what it looks like, right? It adds to like the abstractness of it adds to it a lot. It adds to that like unsettling feeling, right? Fun fact, this is a redraw of an old artwork I did in high school. The OG got destroyed on yo a while ago. I'm glad you were able to remake it. And plus, like, the message, I kind of like it, the whole, like, bare your insides again and again and again. It, to me, my personal interpretation of it is, like, when you're talking to other people or when you're just, like, socializing or being with other people, there is, like, kind of a... In many ways, you can just put on a mask. You can just put on a mask of, like, your, like, surface-level personality and go about your day. But sometimes there are I guess times and places where you have to like bear your true self. You have to be vulnerable. And sometimes that can work out well, but sometimes it doesn't work out as well. You're literally bearing your insides, you're making yourself vulnerable. And in some ways that you might do it because you trust someone, you might do it because you feel like it might benefit you and other parties in a certain way. But once again, it's making you very vulnerable. Yeah, you have to bear your true self. But the repetition of again and again and again and again, it makes it feel like, you know what? I'll show you. It's a funny meme, but I'll show you what meme it reminds me of when you say again and again and again. What is it? Shen? Is it Shen X? Never again meme. Found it. This one, right? Where it's like a little guy. I think this is by what? Shen... His name is like Shen something? He's in a square. He comes out of his square, gets punched, and says, never again. Never again. But now the walls are thicker. It almost feels like that in a way, where it's like like you bare yourself for everyone to see. You're vulnerable, but like you could also get hurt. But even despite that, sometimes you have to do it again and again and again, and it causes more hurt and more hurt. But sometimes you hold on to the hope that maybe it's not gonna hurt. Maybe this will benefit in some way. Shen Comics, yes, exactly. You like the interpretation? Thank you. Yes, I would love to know the intended meaning. Yeah, please feel free to share. Because yeah, that's how I personally interpreted it. I think that's the lovely part of art, is that you can have an interpretation that might differ from how the artist imagined it, but it's still an interpretation nonetheless, right? So I'm really curious though. This is one of those, it's really cool that we have the opportunity to ask the artists themselves, right? Instead of just guessing. And then that interpretation kind of can build further. That's another reason why I like studying art history, is because I'll see a painting, I'll come up with my interpretation, and then my professor will tell me like, this is what the artist meant by it, and I'll be like, oh, you know what, I see that. So yeah, I'm very curious. So in the meantime, yeah, it's by Shen Comics. Let me see, Shen Comics. He's still super active, this artist. He's really funny too. How I imagine the chess pieces move. Pawn, knight, bishop. Wait, what is this? Webtoon official. Shen Comics is on Webtoon? Or is he just making an ad for Webtoon? Pathetic lesbian bonanza. I'd read it. There isn't a single piece on the board as powerful as I am, but that thing it scares me. He's on Webtoon? Ooh, very cool. I sent this to so many people. This meme of like favorite gaming fighting game archetypes, I've sent it to so many people. I showed it to Beans, I showed it to his friends. The grappler that barely fits on screen, Potemkin. Big idiot with the big stupid weapon. What's her name? May? Straight fundamentals, no funny business. The funny business. Yoshimitsu, probably. Oh, cool. So here is beeplebees' intent behind the artwork. Let's go ahead and redirect back to it. This drawing was made about how the Canadian mental health care system deals with young people, being bounced around from mental health professional to mental health professional, having to retell the same traumatic stories over and over till you completely disconnected from your own experiences. Yo, yes. Like, I feel like when I was talking about my interpretation, I put it as more of like having to bare your soul and say like you're getting really close to a group of friends or like co-workers or something like that, or trying to feel more relatable to people that you've barely met. But I think that hits so much harder knowing that you're literally having to tell your story and having it assessed, like using kind of like formulaic rubrics and stuff like that, right? They're using like, you know, all these like very not strict, but like these certain rubrics to kind of like and formulas to try and like diagnose what's going on and like the best ways to move forward. But it feels very machine like. Sometimes the nuance of like telling that story is no longer there, right? That's why the figure has no face too. Oh, the couch is a therapy couch. Oh, I didn't even put that together. I love that though. I love that. That's quite literally bearing your soul, right? This is excellent though. This is an excellent way to kind of like put that on the digital canvas. So is Merriweather the CEO of Astroline and King of the Philippines? Oh, he's also on Webtoon. Ah, for having to couch your language for medical analysis. Yes. Exactly. And then that goes in line with, I think I mentioned this a while back, but I did start going to therapy sessions. Oh my gosh, how long has it been? Since late spring, early summer. So far, it's been pretty good. I think the one thing though is that like I do sometimes like I will literally like, you know, bare my soul. And the one thing about my therapist is that she's very like thoughtful in what she says, but there are times where it's just like silence for a while, and I'm like, do you have an action item for me, coach? Do you have do you vibe with your therapist? So far, yes. So far, very much so. She's a fellow Filipino American, Phil Am Pinay. So far, I'm vibing with her, but there are moments where I'm like, I guess I'm finding out that I operate very well when someone gives me an action item, something to do. Because otherwise, if it's just like her nodding, like after I've like finished talking, I'm just like, any advice? Any follow-up questions? Should I just keep talking? And most of the time she does give me like advice. But there are times where it's just more so like kind of analyzing my feelings in the moment, which I appreciate, but yeah, like sometimes I'm just like, please tell me, please. The silence is a tactic therapists use to get you to talk more. Which I do. Which I do. Like sometimes the silence is like too much for me. And the thing is, I even in my when I'm teaching for work, right? We try to teach each other. Me and my fellow educators were like, be okay with silence. It's okay if there's silence. Like, let people just sit in silence. But when it's me and my therapist, I'm like, there's a pause. Why is there a pause? Like, I don't want there to be a pause. So yeah, like I think I do need to like be more comfortable with the silence, but there are times where I just like kind of panic. But my therapist has actually been helping me a lot with like I'll just tell her things that I don't know, I'm just finding out a lot about myself. I won't go too much into things. Don't want to unintentionally turn this into a therapy session, but I'm finding out a lot about how I process things. And it's kind of true, like a lot of the ways that like people how like process and like go through conflicts and stuff very much informed by their childhood and how they grew up and what they saw in their childhood. And like it's one of those like, oh duh, but then like when you actually like look back and when you have someone guiding you through that process, it's like, oh, it's true. At least in my experience. I had a Filipina therapist, but she was way too nice to really get into the mess that is my mind. Yeah, and like that's what I keep hearing about, that like it really is a struggle sometimes. Not a struggle, but like you really do have to vibe with your therapist. Finding a good therapist who truly knows how to help you is a rare blessing. Yeah, exactly, right? And the thing is, she's my first therapist, so I don't know if like if I were to go to someone else, if I would vibe with them more, but so far so good. Like so far like I said, I feel like I'm learning a lot about myself. And she's given me some really good tools in the toolkit. But on that note, thank you so much, beeplebees. This is amazing. Like I said, it really is giving me that like fear and hunger, unsettling type, but this time it's a little bit more grounded because Fear and Hunger is like medieval, like a little bit of supernatural, like eldritch themes. This one is a more mundane horror that you can see and experience like in real life. You don't need a medieval style video game to experience it, right? So very good good technique and very good way of like executing on the idea. So good job. Putchy, 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 clap, 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 clap. Good job. If there's anything else you want to say about your art piece, feel free. I'm vibing to the music. To the master of the heavenly yard. Man, really good job. Hehe. Thank you for your analysis. I love hearing other people's interpretations of my work. Yeah, and I love interpreting it. It's one of my favorite things to do when it comes to like doing art history stuff. It's funny because I was this is gonna sound so cringe, but because Randon's been playing Danganronpa, I've been thinking of like what would an ultimate level art historian be like, right? Would it be someone that just like is so good at interpreting? Like, what would my skill set be if I were in a Danganronpa game, right? Or any, you know, like if you take my hobby or like my skill of art interpretation, not being an artist, mind you, but being an art historian, being an like art interpreter, like if you take that to the umpteenth level, what does that look like as a superpower, right? Because I always thought it was just like, oh, if I had like superpowers based off like that interest, that part of myself, it'd be like going into paintings. But I feel like it would be something more like psychological of like, I know what colors I should use to manipulate people's thoughts. If I show you orange, you'll get hungry. You know what? Give me a second. Color source. Blending mode. Multiply. You're getting hungry. You're getting hungry, Babinkubs. Yum yum. Time for lunch. Okay. I stopped. My eyes. I'm sorry. The eye saver filter. Let's see. I need to play some Fear and Hunger. I've seen some art, but damn it. So it is depressing. Like I feel like you do have to be in a good mindset to go into that game. I heard ultimate level art historian and immediately thought Digimon. My super ability in Danganronpa would be to play Digimon TCG. They put the dentist glasses on us. Oh my gosh. I should put a fade effect on this. Fade and fade. See, if I do this, you're getting hungry. What if I do, let's see, here we go. All right, Babinkubs, you are now feeling productive. You're feeling so productive right now. You could do so much work and or schoolwork. That task that you've been procrastinating on, you can suddenly do it. I think that's how I would use my ultimate art historian powers, right? Being the ultimate Digimon TCG player. You don't even play the murder game, you just make decks in the corner the whole time. I think Binka was the murderer. What, huh? I was making my adventure deck. What happened? Blue, I'm sad now. Oh no. Oh no, I messed up. I messed up. I feel like that's how my ability would work, right? I'm like, Blue, you're so productive, but also you're so sad. You're too sad. Because Blue, period. No. So we actually only have 3 more artists to look at. There was 2 more, but I wanted to wait until Apolin was in the chat. So that might have to wait until another time. But this is our next one. It's a cat. Crying as I speed through my chores. You're just like, wait, let me see if I can get my emotes out. There you go. It's like, oh, I'm so sad, but I'm getting so many dishes done. I'm getting so many dishes done. Yeah, let me make myself a little smaller. Oh, there's no dishwasher. Hey! There's no dishwasher in here. There's no... Why isn't there a dishwasher in here? Oh, now I made myself small. Why would you throw things at me? Did I accidentally make myself too small? There we go. I love the crying angry face. Wait, can I do them both together? You guys make me so mad, so mad. That actually is me IRL though. I am someone who, like, if I get angry enough, I cry. Like, and it makes things very hard to, like, have a convincing argument against someone. Like, hey, why would you? I'm not a jerk. I'm not a jerk. Why would you say that? Why would you say that I'm a jerk? You just make me so mad. Honestly, same. Yeah, it's like, it's so bad. Like, there are only a couple times in my life that I've actually been like so like that angry, but like when I get super angry, I cry. Like, I just end up crying. Oh, thanks for the pet. Ah. Thanks for the pet. But yeah, let's go on to Binky and Crumb. Hey, their name's kind of like my name. Binky, Binka. Same hat. So yeah, this is, I kind of want to check out more of their art, but we have here a cat that is on the computer. It's like Schnackery. Sometimes he doesn't let me use the computer because he's too busy sitting on my desk. But ooh, I like this song. I like this a lot. It's like kind of in medieval style, right? It's like it has the pen strokes here, the strange face for a cat, drawn by Andreas Mahler. Exactly. Ah, I miss Pentiment. Let's see some other art. Ooh, oh my gosh, they're so good at drawing medieval style. Bad news for bread. I woke up. Butter makes me. I saw this and I was like, Binka, there's hey Binka, there's a weird cat outside. The humanoid face is killing me. I love the chicken leg, right? I love when cats do this. When they're like, okay, this is gonna sound TMI, but all the cat owners will know what I mean. When the cats are like licking their balls, or they're like licking their genitalia, but their other leg is like sticking out like a chicken leg. Let me see if I can find it. Cat chicken leg. I think I found it. Here. What is this? Look, it's a chicken leg. It's like when cats are like they're licking themselves and they become a chicken leg. Butter makes you huh? Makes you what? Me when I'm huh? I love when they do that. It's so cute. It's super cute. The cat face on the chicken leg. This is what I feel like sometimes. This is what I feel like when you guys throw things at me. Yeah, I feel like the human style face on the cat is very much like a medieval inspired thing. You also see like the cross hatching. The cross hatching is another way of like doing really good like inky drawings when you can't do hey. This is how you make me. This is how I feel. This is how I feel when you do that. But yeah, for like inky stuff, when you just have like ink pen, if you can't do like you can kind of cheat a gradient by doing cross hatching like this. Like what you see on the computer screen here. It kind of feels like a gradient. It's a good substitute for actually like having like a color gradient when you're working in like digital art or even this. This is like watercolor, right? So very cute, very cute. Hey Binka, there's a weird cat on the lawn. Petition to make that cat chicken leg the raid emote. No, you don't. Oh, you know what? That's an idea. Maybe I can get like a chicken head on myself. Is there like a? Kind of want to see if there's like an asset for like chicken, chicken head. No, chicken mask, chicken leg mask, drumstick. No, this isn't what I want. This isn't what I want. There's a okay. This is gonna sound like weird. Like, what? How am I relating this to anything? I have the Randon Nui, right? I have like a little Nui of Randon the orc, and when I was in Japan, I was shopping for like Nui clothing. You know what? Let me see if I can find it. Nui clothing fish. I can't find it. No. You guys will never know what I'm talking about. No. It's like a fish head, but it's like a mask that you wear, but it makes you look like you have a fish head. I'll find an example. I'll take a picture of Randon in the little costume, and I will show you guys. But for now, very cool stuff here on Binky and Crumb. I recommend, fully recommend. I love the ways that the paws are drawn. Yeah, it's like spreading out. Like his little fingies are spread out. It's so cute. Okay, I think let's do this. We're gonna take a look at this artwork and then we're probably gonna do one last ad break. And then we're gonna move on to the last artist of the day, which is Camila Salinas. Alright, does that sound good for you guys? Because I do need to rest my voice, and then I have leftover torta. It's a weekend, so me and Beans got vegan Mexican food again. We got really good torta. You guys ready for some Hollow Stars art? The birth of Josuiji Shinri. This is like actually super well done too. So if you guys don't know who this guy is, this is Josuiji Shinri from Hollow Stars English, Vanguard. He is the archer. I used to watch him a bit, especially like after debut. You're still eating the same torta from a week ago. No, it's a different torta. Do I really eat it that much? Do I really eat tortas that much? I'm like coming to a realization. The rendering is so good, right? This is so good. Should be looking fine? Fine. Yeah, I used to watch him quite a bit, but I haven't been able to watch really much of the Tempest Boys, except for maybe Battle. Yes, I do. Oh, man. Well, they're really good. If that restaurant didn't want me eating all the tortas, they wouldn't make it so good. Check and mate, Bibinkubs. I like how my face looks whenever I do that, like the... And what now, Bibinkubs? I have the high ground. Wait, let me do something. Where is my asset? I'm gonna put myself over the desk. Oh, now I can't move myself. Why can't I move myself now? Oh, I see. I see where I put myself. There we go. No, I'm moving the table too. I just want to move one thing. I just want the high ground. There we go. I have the high ground now, Babine Cubs. What say ye? Okay, we're on top of the table now. We're looking at Shinri. We're looking respectfully. We're looking respectfully. So this is a reference to a Bika keeps stream assets in directory structure. Get him! I do. This is a reference to the birth of Venus. Oh, if I Botticelli. Duh. Didoy. Take away my art history degree. I don't even remember when who made the birth of Venus. I'm fake. I'm a phony. So this is a reference to the birth of Venus by Sandro Botticelli. It's coming back to me because Botticelli also made another banger piece of artwork where everyone is in a garden during springtime. This must have taken a lot of time. The kois look fantastic, right? I think that's another really cool thing is like how they did the scale. So let's zoom out just so that we can do a quick compare and contrast. There we go. Ah, that's so cool. They might have... Did they trace the background by any chance? Which, like, for something this, with this much, like, composition, I wouldn't exactly blame them. I wouldn't be like, actually... Because, like, the main, like, point of this artwork is like, yes, it's a reference to Sandro Botticelli's Birth of Venus, but ultimately, the mix of, the like, mix-up is that it's Shinri and the kois, right? Instead of Venus and the nymphs and the west wind, right? So I think it's fine if you're like, this isn't the center of attention. This does not seem traced at all, obviously, because, like, you have to change the body shape and, like, the gender, obviously. Y'all ever just garden in springtime? And then, they replaced... Because this is, I believe, the West Wind being carried by Iris? Not the VTuber? Here we go. The wind god Zephyr blows at her. He's carried by a young female. Both have wings, Vasari properly incorrecting, identifying her as Aura, personification of a lighter breeze. The aura of spring. The Hora. Yeah, it seems like the main subjects, they were not traced at all. Like, this was completely by, like, the artist's own skill, right? So the pose is very much reference, but, like, it's all basically like they drew it of their own, like, skill level, so to speak. So when we zoom in, we get to appreciate more of the textures in play, especially on the kois. Look at this. Look at each and every scale is lovingly rendered. Look at that. And you have the flowers here. Also, even the anatomy is, like, so good. And this is what I mean of, like, it seems very obvious, like, they did not trace this part at all. Even if they did the background, like, the actual anatomy, you could tell that they have, like, enough of a grasp of anatomy to, like, just do it themselves. Ooh, sorry, something's in my eye. I might need to do an ad break shortly so that I can, like, put some eye drops in. I'm pretty sure it's just an eyelash, but it was just like a sudden, like, owie. The scales are rendered, but we have no proof of it if it is loving or after putting a few because they were compelled to finish all of them because they have gone too far. This is true. Ghosty, hello. Yes, we're looking at Fish and Shinwi. Shinwi. I like this touch here. Look at the touch of the eyes. Because overall, it's kind of like matching. Oh, you got your sticker. Overall, the composition is very, like, orange. With a little bit of blue and the like, light green. Is that the same color? No! Ooh, this is a really cool liberty that this artist took. if you look at the original, there's kind of like a mix of different like colors, right? You got your blues, you got your oranges, you got your reds, you got your pale colors over here. But here they use color like really effectively in terms of contrast, because overall things are very orangey. Like even the green of the grass over here has a little bit of an orange tint to it. Even the water has a little bit of an orange tint. But to contrast that, they made the veil into this very vibrant teal. And of course, Shinri has his blue hand as well, which helps with the contrast too. So there's that. But if we zoom into the eyes too of the fish, of the kois, there's a little bit of that teal highlight as well. So adding a little bit of color just for a little bit of that pop, a little bit of that contrast. Especially because like value-wise, like their lights and their darks, it's a little bit decontrasted. Like they didn't put too much contrast in because it's kind of imitating that soft painterly style. Ooh, there's even a little bit of highlight on the surface of the fish as well. So there's a blue highlight here, there's a blue highlight here. The orange tint is kind of offset by like the teal over here. Another thing that I noticed too, let's zoom in to Shinri. For one, amazing use of amazing anatomy, right? The tattoo. So one thing with Shinri's tattoo is that it can be a little bit hard to render sometimes because it's a gradient. But here, I don't know, they might have put the tattoo on its own layer and just painted over it to make it easy. But even just like the techniques they use, it looks very effective. Like you get that gradient tattoo along with the shading of the muscles. Because if you just draw the tattoo over it, and even if you put the gradient of like the yellow to the orange, it's still gonna look like it's just pasted on unless you actually put the shading of the muscles in. Like you see here where like the pectorals are, the pecs, if you will. There is like some shadow here, and they also incorporated that into the tattoo. So very well done. How much is the resolution? Insanely detailed? I'm actually not sure. Oh, I think this is the actual like resolution. So like, so they worked on like a huge canvas. And it's even possible that they worked on an even bigger canvas and this is just like sized down from that. Oh, the facial features too. Really nice. They made the hair so soft, so fluffy. Oh, they even have the tattoo here as well. It contrasts really well with his blue hand. The shine of the fish. I love that. And look, you can tell that it's just done with like a few brushstrokes over everything, but it helps to sell the idea of like these super shiny fish, right? Not the pregnant emote. What was it that Vesper said? Like, I can't hear this banger story over all these stupid pregnant people. It's fun to see how far he's come since debut, with Vesper getting mad at all the pregnant people getting away at the debut. That was so golden. For those who don't know the like lore, if you guys don't know like the Hollow Stars lore, so when this guy first debuted, this guy Shinri, he first debuted, there was another the generation before him of Tempest, that one had Vesper in it. So it was Vesper, he debuted in a generation in, what is it, May 2022? Or something like that, summer of 2022. The following, like 6 months later, their generation debuted. So Shinri's generation debuted. So no one knew about like what his voice would sound like until the debut. And then when his debut happened, everyone heard his like super deep, very like kind of sultry voice, right? And he was just telling like a regular story. He was telling the story of like the Dragon Gate, like when fish jump over the waterfall, they can become dragons. So he was just telling the story. He wasn't even intentionally trying to be like sultry or sexy or anything. He's just telling a story. And then, of course, VTuber fans are gonna react the way that they did. They kept on putting the pregnant emoji in the chat. You know, implying like, oh, this voice is so sexy that it like already got me pregnant kind of thing. And then like so many people were spamming the pregnant emoji that Vesper from the previous generation, he put I can't hear this banger story over all these stupid pregnant people. And that was like hilarious. Yeah, people were going feral and he was just chilling, for real, for real. Dude, it's so good. It's so good. Ooh, look at the actually. Can we appreciate the details in the waves? Ooh, there's like transparency there and everything. Oh, that's so good. You get the little details too on like the ground, the background. This is what I mean, like at first glance when I saw that, like, oh, it looks like the shell and the background are probably traced. Even then, you still have to have the skill to imitate the textures that are used in it. The painterly textures as well. So I'm not giving any flack to this artist for tracing, especially since the background isn't the main you know point of the painting. It's the figures, and the figures. It seems very obvious that they've like freehanded or like at least the poses reference, but they have enough skill to pull this off on their own. So kudos, amazing job to this artist. Amazing job. If you guys want to appreciate this artist, I'm also gonna put the link here in the chat. All the links are also going to be in the art appreciation channel in my Discord. So with that, we just have one artist to look at. But I do need to rest my voice a little bit, and I need to put some eye drops in because I think there's an eyelash in there. I think there's a bear lash in my eyeball, so I'm going to go put on some eye drops. So I will go ahead and run that ad a little bit early. So right now, right meow. And then I'll see you guys in about 3 minutes. Be good! Okay, we're back. We're back in just in time for our very last artist to appreciate today. Let's add another 0 to the parking time. 600 minutes? Or are we going back to the 006 minutes? Or it's 600 minutes, therefore they feel it's like long-term parking at the airport. So people are like, oh, let's just park at this super cheap community college. Yeah, they're only charging $5. Yeah, easy. And then we have 600 minutes. 600 minutes to do our stuff. I mean, what kind of stuff? I don't know what we're talking about. Anyway, let's get back to the art appreciation, shall we? I'm on the table. I'm taking a stand. Gosh darn it. Alright, so this is the last artist that we're going to be looking at for tonight. Like I said, they are a contemporary artist, as in they are currently working to make art right now. Oh, they're 20. They're 20, unless they haven't updated their profile. They are currently 20 years old. They make really cool oil paintings. Let me actually open up some tabs so that we can see some different ones. I really like the sketch versus the oh, it's based off a photo. Cool, cool, cool. I want to see some of her other stuff as well. So yeah, it looks like that they are a art student. Likely in college. They're very good at like realism. And they kind of like I kind of like how they like to use themselves as their main subject. Kind of reminiscent of people like Frida Kahlo, you know? Close-ups, painting process. Ooh, very cool. But yeah, they have like a really cool like realism style, like hyper-realistic style. Here we go. Las Consentidas. This is, I kind of like this style a lot because it's hyper realistic in terms of like the subject, in terms of herself. Most likely because she's like using herself as a reference, right? But then if you look at the background, the like proportions are like warped in a way. It almost feels like it feels like you would see this in like the cover of a storybook, right? Magic realism, very LatAm. Yeah, yes. Consentida is like the spoiled ones, the golden ones in like a golden child kind of sense. Ah, thank you. Thank you for the translation, because yeah, I kind of needed that. Consentidas. But yeah, like, doesn't this look like something you'd see in like the title of like a coming of age novel, right? The magical realism. I like that term. I think that's been mentioned before. Let me actually take a look-see. Magic realism. I want to see some art. Oh yeah, one of my favorite artists. He does this. So, art. Yeah, okay. The art of Robert Gonsalves. He's one of my favorites. Okay, let me see if I can put this here. I'm just trying to like balance all my tabs. Here we go. Yeah, I think I've showed you guys this artist before, Robert Gonsalves. He does like this type of artwork where it's like illusions, like things transitioning from one thing to another. We looked at this artwork before. I remember when I was teaching you guys like how to analyze art. I think this is the image that I used, right? Yeah, I'm a big fan of his work. This one, like this tree house that kind of plays with perspective a little bit. So yeah, she's kind of also like channeling into that. Like there's the warped perspective and the fact that it's like two people that look exactly like each other. They could be twins. Like we know for a fact that like she's just using herself as like the reference, and she just used herself twice. But if you, like I said, if you were to see this as the cover of a book, it would make you wonder, like, are they twins, like or is it like, you know, different personalities, different ways of showing your personality. I think it's also something about the colors that also add to that like magic realism feeling. Art that plays with reality is so interesting. I agree, it's like one of my favorite genres of art, right? Like the magic realism. Let's take a look at some close-ups. They also have a YouTube channel. Oh, cool. Let me mute it so that I don't accidentally steal content. Let's have this run at like 1.5 speed. We'll just go through it. Yo. This is their like process. It looks like they have like the colors are blocked out. If you guys are interested in this video, I'll link it in the chat. Ooh, oh, so she's looking at like the tech. Oh my gosh. Look at the texture work. Because she was holding up her jeans, I think. So it looks like she's using her own jeans as like a reference for like how to do the textures. Oh wow, she's using her fingernail. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. That's so cool. That's so cool. Even something as like small as like the textures, because like at first glance it's like, oh, why is she putting that much like effort when like when you zoom out it's not going to be that noticeable. The thing is, it adds like when you repeat a texture like that, it does get noticeable even when you like zoom all the way out. And the thing is, I've never dabbled in oil painting before. I think I've always just been too scared of like, because you have to use, was it turpentine or something? And doesn't it like smell very strong? Are they doing this in their dorm? Look, they have a, like a little mini fridge and a microwave on top. Or it could be like a studio. I think this might be their dorm. Oh my gosh, they're doing all of this in just a tiny little dorm. And mineral spirits, yeah. I've always just been like a little hesitant about stuff that with like a strong chemical scent, you know? And I like acrylics too. Like my first painting class I did acrylics because it felt very forgiving in that you could just paint over any mistakes. Bob Ross used oils. Yeah, where he had to do the thing where you got to beat the devil out of it, right? I beat the devil out of it. Yeah, don't want to steal content. Feel free to check out her video, because it's cool. You get to see some insight as to like how she made this work. Before we look at that last one, I want to take a look at. I want to see if I can find the one that's also really well done. All of her work is just really well done. Thank you for pinning that, Matthew. I think, yeah, I feel like this is probably one of the first, like, posts I ever saw by her. Me and my twin painting. Isn't this so impressive? She even has the paintings in the back, like, the same exact paintings in the background. She recreated this part of her room, even with the doggy! The doggy! Even the same like mismatched socks. I love that because there's so much character in it. Because it speaks on both. I think like this style of painting speaks on like her technical prowess. Like I said, this must have taken a lot of like skill and practice to get to, right? A lot of technical practice because you have like the details in the hair, you have like the photorealism, you have the light source. But it also speaks a little bit to like her personality, what she wants to portray with her art, right? Because like I said, it reminds me very much of Frida Kahlo. Of like she painted like the whole thing with Frida Kahlo is that when she was young, she was in a really bad bus accident, which left her disabled. She had like a metal pipe going up her spine, and for a lot of the recovery time, she was bedridden. Like she literally could not be out of bed, and she from what I remember learning about her, she had like she was able to do stuff like paint, and she just had like a mirror so that she could look at herself and use herself as the reference. And that's why so many of her paintings use herself as the subject. So her technique is insane. It's also making herself the subject is so raw. Exactly. It's that too, because like I feel like there are people who would assume that because you use yourself as the subject, it's like, oh, what are you like? Are you super like prideful? Are you super, like vain about your own appearance? But there's something about the way that she portrayed herself that like I don't think that's the case. Like I think it is just a showing of like this is quite literally who I am. Because like, if she wanted to paint herself like people painted themselves in like the 1800s where they were without blemishes and stuff. I don't think she would put like there's little like laugh lines here, right? She's even painting like the dark circles under her eyes, right? And don't get me wrong, she's a very pretty girl. Super pretty. But I kind of like that she's adding like the little details like that. She could, you know, she could make her hair look a lot better. She could make like she could not paint the bags under her eyes, but no, she's painting everything. So I think that's really awesome too. Even something like painting herself in like these, what I would call like pambahay, which is like your house clothes, right? Like, I think that also speaks to her. Like she's showing everything. Like she's showing like her personality. Like everything that she chose to include on this canvas, it's kind of like taking a photo. Because there are people who think that like, oh, photography isn't art because you're just snapping a picture of what you see. The thing is like you are playing with, when you are dabbling in photography, you're dabbling with composition. You're dabbling with like, where do you want this photo to begin and end? As in like, she didn't have to include her dog. She didn't have to include this box in the back. She didn't have to include like the little plushies and the medals in the back, or even like this light switch. She could have easily left that out. And I know because whenever I do backgrounds for things, or whenever I have to incorporate some kind of background, I leave stuff out because I don't want to like, I don't want to go through all that trouble. I forgot what it was. I think I helped out with a visual novel for, actually we were just looking at artwork of Shinri. I used to do graduation projects for Shinri. I did a background, and like I remember I was like copying, I think like the interior of a classroom, and I was like, I'm not gonna paint that freaking door frame. Like I'm not gonna paint that like fire alarm. Who's gonna notice if it's missing, right? Like, but no, like, so that's what I mean. Like you choose, you as the artist, whether it's photography or painting, you choose what you want to include in the background and in the foreground, right? She didn't have to paint her bracelets. She didn't have to put in all that detail, but she did anyway. So I think that is like as much of a really good demonstration of both her skill and what she wants to show as her subject. Same with, oh my gosh, look at these leaves. You know how much time that probably took to paint every single one of those leaves? Right? And the wood grain, all of that. Super good. So the last thing we'll look at from her is this work. This is her latest work. She posted it earlier this month, August 17th. So let's take a close look. And then she used a couple, this is her sketch, and then this is one of her references based on a photo of her dad, which I think is very cute, right? Very, very touching. Let's take a look at the painting first. So it's herself holding a piñata. She's wearing gloves. She has I like the headscarf, the headband. Yo, I like this touch in the background. Look at the little like moon in the background. The piñata that looks like her. Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. You saw that on your timeline? Yeah, it's really good, isn't it? It's one of those things that like if I hadn't known that it was a painting, I would have thought that it was just a photo, right? Like I just thought that she took a really good photo with flash, but it's a painting. She painted all of this. It gets a little bit more evident with, I would say, the piñata, like this part of the piñata right here. You can kind of see the paint strokes, but when you look at like the dog, that looks like a photo. Another thing is the grass has like such an interesting texture to it. It reminds me of that one artist I showed you guys that is from like, I think like the 50s or 60s, but their paintings look like a PS1, you know, like cutscene. Let me see if I can find that artist again. Artist Alex Colville. See, this person is from like the 50s. Like they painted this in the 50s, but it has this like feeling of being in like a PS1 video game. And I remember we talked about it before that like I think what contributes to that is the lack of shadows. The lack of shadows kind of like give that feeling. So here, if we go back to Camila's work, you kind of get that too. I think it's more so though, like You also get a lack of shadows because there's flash. There's like a very strong flash effect that you could see like in her cheeks. Yeah, certain parts here, but she's not like dropping a, there's no like shadow behind her. Let me see if the photo does have a kinda, not really. The shadow is kind of obscured by just like the flash, basically. But that adds to it, because if you look at this grass texture too, I don't know if it, I like that she kind of drew it in a way that it looks less like grass and more like turf. You know, like the fake grass? Because she did it like in rows. Look at all the detail with like, she even like drew the individual candies that already fell out. The M&Ms, the Skittles, the fact that you can read that it says Skittles on it. I would never. If I had to like paint something like that, I would just put scribblies. But she went into the trouble to like put all the detail. She's very detail oriented with this. This must have taken forever. I like this expression on her face too. It's like a very like, I'm proud. I'm proud of what I did, you know? It's like a look dad, look at me. Low polygon art, right? I feel like there's also something to be said about the fact that she's hitting a piñata that looks like herself, right? And she's, both the piñata and her are like smiling very proudly. Because it could be an art talking about self-deprecation, you know, how we feel about ourselves, but she's smiling so brightly, so it makes you wonder, like, is that a genuine smile of like, look at how proud I am, or is it like a forced smile? I don't know, lots of things to think about. Very, very, very well done. If we want to see the sketch, here it is. I like how she did the dog here. By the way, I like looking at artist sketches too, because it's kind of like that meme that's been going around Twitter where it's like, make it exist first and then make it better later. Because it's true, like, a sketch doesn't have to be super duper detailed, you know? Like, you could really just like scribble an idea, and then if you have the wherewithal to improve upon it, to like keep on like adding and adding, even if it takes you a year, even if it takes you 5 years to finish that artwork, you know, like at the very least, make it exist first. Which I do like that advice. Yeah, make it exist first and then make it better later. Cause look at how the dog, look at how she just scribbled out the dog. How that looks, like it looks a little derpy. And then look at the detail that she was able to put into it. A sketch like this, a thumbnail, is to just kind of get your ideas on the page. So, looks good. And then I want to see the reference again. I love that. Oh, that's cool. So there's a little bit of bokeh here. It's like that light effect that you sometimes see with photography when something like reflects off of it. I think she reflected that by putting the little moon in the distance. The moon also adds a little bit of that magical realism too. I don't quite know how to explain it. It's like the deep blue of the sky and then that like distant moon in the distance. I like it. So yeah, overall, this is why she's like definitely one of my favorite artists. If you guys want to check her out, this is Camila Salinas. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Put her Twitter in the chat. As you can see, I'm following her on my main account, on my main art account. But yeah, I dig it. Definitely check out more of her art. I hope she keeps on posting and posting and posting. Very, very well done. Oh, and she actually has like an actual piñata. That's so cool. Oh, and she smashed it open. Thank you for pinning that, Matthew. But yes, I feel my mouth becoming dry. I need to eat the rest of my torta and drink the rest of my... I got... it's like a hibiscus juice. It tastes very good. But otherwise, I think that is pretty much where we're gonna call it. Next time we do art appreciation, I do want to look at some other oil painting artists such as Matisse, Wayne Theobald. These were both recommended by Apolin, and then Ex-Legendary Hero also recommended a couple artists, but they were more like horror themed, and I kind of want to save that for Halloween. I'm thinking. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this art appreciation. And guess what, guys? We are going to mosh. We're going to mosh. And it's a good thing I'm calling it right now because I'm going to be seeing you guys again anyway. Tomorrow morning. Yeah, tomorrow morning. We are going to be doing pixel art. We're doing pixel art styled after V-Pets. That, remember, I was actually supposed to do that like last week or the week before. But that's when my dentist called me. So hopefully we won't get such an interruption again. But yeah, we're gonna be doing some V-Pet Digimon inspired pixel art tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So until then, let's mosh. Let's do our end of stream mosh. For any new students that want to join us, all you gotta do is, once I play the music, once you hear the music, spam your favorite emotes. Thanks for the fun stream. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here, for appreciating the art with me. And then for folks that submitted art, such as beeplebees, thank you for making that art. Right? So, thank you. Let's go ahead and mosh. And then we'll raid out into someone, alright? And I'm still in my Uma Musume era, so we're just gonna listen to some Uma Musume. So it'll be a short mosh, but then we'll raid. Get to moshin'. Bakshin! Get there. Oh, actually, that's loud. I'm sorry. That's super loud. Fire! Okay, I think we're gonna raid into Milky. It's Seiyun Sky. Hanel, you won the mosh pit. Congrats, you did it. I think we have enough time for one more. Funny. These concerts go so hard. I'm gonna play some Uma Musume after this. Maybe I should play on stream sometime too. It's Frontier. Yeah. It's Matthew versus Hanel. Who's getting it? Who's getting it? It's Matthew! And it's not rigged. But Hanel, you already won the first round. Matthew got the second round. And Hanel got the runner-up. Yahoo! Rigged. It's not. It's not rigged. It's not. Alright, guys. Congrats. Congrats to the Mosh Pit winners. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. I really do appreciate you guys. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again in a couple hours. 11 a.m. PST. I'll see you then for some pixel art. We raid. I hope you guys have a good morning, afternoon, or evening. And as always, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Bye-bye. We raid. I like you guys.